Hey, it's Cindy and Destiny, the Keep It Real podcast, and we're here today with the best around, Anthony Catena. How you been doing?
Best around. I didn't fit it all in there. Best around by leaps and bounds. Yeah,
Best around by leaps and bounds. All
there
right,
you go.
all
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you, ladies?
we're doing good, doing good.
That's
Been
good.
trying to get this to happen for a while. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
So we know you've been really busy. We know you've been working with, oh my gosh, everybody. We just saw you at ECC. We've
Yeah,
seen you
yeah.
work with FTC. We've seen you're working with NWA and IWC.
NWA, IWC, and over in Chicago, AAW. And I actually just talked to someone over in Colorado about working at one of my old places I used to be at, Rocky Mountain Pro. So
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. So I got some good opportunities coming up. I'm very fortunate, very blessed.
Good deal. Good deal. I know we see you all over the place. You
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you stay
It looks
busy,
more.
but
It looks a lot more glamorous than it is. A lot of it is just traveling around. Everyone sees the finished product. You know, that they don't see all the miles on the car or eating out of cans and stuff like that. You know, so it looks a little bit more glamorous than it is. But nevertheless, I am fortunate for the opportunities.
yeah, you're going places, that's for sure.
Well, I
Sure.
appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. So what made you want to get into
So
wrestling
so
anyway?
yeah, I honestly a lot of people have that, oh, I watched this clip or oh, I saw this on TV, and then they put that over as like, oh, that was the definable moment that I could point to that got me into wrestling. But I don't really have that, to be honest. It's always just been a part of my life. I mean, and my family, going back to like the carnival days, like I whether in the business or as fans of the business. It's just both of my parents wrestled, and
No.
yeah, and so it's just always been a part of kind of my family, both on my dad's side and my mom's side. So, and then just kind of carried over into me and my sisters. So
Oh, your sisters wrestle too?
they don't wrestle, but they started watching it before I did. I will say the one that like the first memory I do have of like actual like wrestling and watching it. I can't say it was probably a SmackDown. I would assume so, but I can't say who he was wrestling against. But I do remember watching Scotty Too Hottie wrestling on TV. But that I must have been like four,
Mhm.
maybe 4 or 5, and that was always my sister's favorites. So it was their favorite was Scotty Too Hottie. So that's like my one real memory of like my first memory of it. So
So you just kind of you traveled with your mom and dad while they were wrestling and
no, no, actually they had stopped before I started or before I was born. My dad and my mom, they actually met at wrestling school and at Skander Akbar's wrestling school in Dallas, Texas. And then from there my dad had a few matches, but then my mom, she actually got pregnant with my sister before she could have her first like real official match. But she did have some like practice matches with Jacqueline Jazz
oh
from
wow.
WWE, yeah, or WWF, and then and my dad wrestled a few times at WCCW in Dallas. His big match. He was just a jobber, right? I always like to say I'm a second generation wrestler, first generation superstar. So, which is very true because I've already succeeded anything that they did in wrestling. But My dad did get to wrestle against. It was him and this guy, Frogman LeBlanc, in a tag team match versus um, Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin um, and I think he was going by Cactus Jack Manson at the time, Mick Foley.
Oh,
So that was his
wow.
big match that he had, but it was just for a couple years that he did it. It wasn't for a long time, and certainly way before I was even thought of. So,
Well, speaking of big matches, who has been your biggest match that you could think of?
oof. Probably, man, I've been, especially in the past year and a half, I've been very fortunate to wrestle with several different people, like a Jay Lethal, um, Jonathan Gresham, Brian Cage, and honestly, even going back a little bit further as well. I've been in the ring with WWE Hall of Famers like a Tony Atlas. But who hasn't? I swear, like everybody I've met in wrestling has wrestled or interacted with the Tony Atlas. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've just been very fortunate. It's really hard to pinpoint who was my biggest because everybody was such like very influential in my wrestling career thus far, like teaching me different things like Jay Lethal, just taught me how to listen to the crowd more and then Jonathan Gresham really helped me like figure out how to kind of construct, and this is why we do certain things at this point and how we build up something. So it's really hard to pinpoint my biggest or best match or what have you, but I would just kind of give credit to everybody involved so far. I'll say that.
So, who trained you?
Yeah, I'm trained by I over in I so I started the day after I turned 17 in Denton, Texas, at this really raunchy place by this guy named Knight Davis,
Mhm.
and his dad was the dude that ran the school, but the guy Knight he was in a wheelchair trying to
Oh,
teach me how
wow.
to take bumps and like telling me how to like run the ropes and everything, even though he had never done them before. Um, but there was a few good like people around there. But I yeah, that was the first place I started, right? But I give credit to the first place that I moved after that when I kind of got smartened up to the whole situation, and I really tried to make wrestling like a real like profession and a career path. Was I moved from Texas when I was 17. I moved from Texas to Boston and trained at New England Pro Wrestling Academy with Brian Fury,
Mhm.
and he was trained by Steve Bradley, which is a little bit more well-known name. But man, Brian Fury, he trained people like Sasha Banks. He trained people like Dijak, who's currently on NXT. And so I was really fortunate to have just really good top-notch training from him specifically, and some of the other like additional trainers in the area. Um, and I was there at the time when people like Matt Taven were there and Tommaso Ciampa and Brutal Bob Evans. Just, I mean, the list could just go on and on. Vinny Marcellia. So just a good group of dudes that I got to learn from on a firsthand basis. And then from there, I've just had supplemental training throughout. I really like learning different styles and learning from different people, like a Dr. Tom Pritchard or an Al Snow, I even went over to the UK and got to train with Marty Jones,
Wow.
who trained William Regal. So yeah, no, I've just been very, very fortunate and sought out a lot of different trainers and kind of being able to take a little bit of everything from different people and kind of putting it and molding it into what I do to creating this specific image that I see myself as a performer and as a superstar. So,
Well, we can tell that whoever, all these people that have trained you, I mean, because you're phenomenal. I
well,
mean,
I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
oh,
Thank
well,
you.
you're welcome. I mean, but we're just being honest.
I'm the best around, right? That's why
Exactly.
I have it in the handle. Yeah.
Exactly. No, but we were talking about, yeah, because we had seen you a few times at WWE.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I
Okay, good
mean,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, there he
Some
is.
of the yeah, 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 good stuff. Yeah, no, man, like I said, it's taken a long while to even get just get a modicum of success, but in the past year and a half, I've just been very fortunate with a lot of opportunities like the WWE, like NWA, and so on and so forth. And it's just it's been a while, but I'm really starting to enjoy it and enjoying the once I really started enjoying the process and stopped trying to focus on, hey, I have to get here to be successful. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
success is in tomorrow. Like no, like once I changed my mindset and started viewing, I can have success today and daily successes, and what's tomorrow is the reward for my success, daily successes, and doing the right things, and so I've just been very fortunate in the past year and a half, I'd say, for a lot of that stuff, and I'm hoping that it's going to keep on building on it. And I tried to take the mindset of um, an opportunity. The best thing you could do with an opportunity is to extrapolate it into the next. So, and the moment that the opportunities stop coming is the moment to tie up the boots and pack it home. But as long as you can keep on, one opportunity keeps on leading to the next, that's my way of looking at, like, hey, I gotta keep on going and keep on pursuing what I'm doing. So
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, and that's a great outlook. Yeah, what we try to tell you too. Don't just think about tomorrow, think about farther. Yeah.
yeah.
She's training. That's why.
So say again.
I said she's training. So this
Oh,
is really
really?
good for her. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. That's great. I should have known with the hair color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she's
awesome. How long you been in it?
almost a year.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. And where are you training over at with Bobby?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, man. Bobby's great. He certainly knows what he's doing, and he's just a very, very, very talented person. And one dude that I would credit being able to kind of that's given me some tips and tools to be able to take on in situations that I've had recently, especially that stuff that like I haven't heard from even a Dr. Tom or an Al Snow. It's been specific to Bobby Blaze. So he's a great dude to learn from, and definitely a great person to have around. So that's awesome.
I agree. He is definitely he's one of a kind. He speaks from
Yeah,
the heart. You know,
he does. He
he's
does.
awesome.
And he has such a cool look too with the white hair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
Yep,
yeah.
for sure. For sure. Um, do you have any advice for anybody that might be trying to get into the business?
Oh, actually, I will pass along some advice. What's his name? Dr. Tom. Actually, I was just over there talking to him, and training with him this past week, and he had told me that the people that have been the most successful in wrestling are the ones that truly make it their life. And he said that that is when though like in his experience, the people that have reached the like real superstar status, like a Triple H, a Rock, John Cena, they really, really made wrestling their life. And so I think that, and pointing at my own life and my own career, a lot of the time it's uh, in previous years I wasn't really being completely I was doing the drives and I was putting in some of the investment, but like in this past 6 months to a year now, it's really, really been like I'm watching tape and I'm constantly thinking of ways to um, reinvent myself or do something innovative or innovative finish or cut off or what have you. I know that's a little bit insider knowledge, but or talk, but it's just so much so that like I'm just driving down the road and just it's just on my mind frequently, and I don't think that there's any coincidence that since I've taken on that mindset and I've really allowed it to kind of just be kind of infest my life and become my life, um, that's when I've seen the most success and more success built off of that. So I think there's a lot of weight in what Dr. Tom had to say. Just really make it your life, and don't that my own personal advice is don't stop the investment. Um, don't stop the investment just at getting like a new pair of tights or training or what. Yeah, there's investments are going to be, yeah, like for instance, when I went out to the UK, I went there. I invested in a plane ticket, and a lot of people won't do that. You know what I mean? But it was an
Mhm.
investment, and then I was brought out there like 3 or 4 weeks later because I made that investment. And when I was over there, since I made that investment, I got to work for Progress Wrestling, which is on a very like interesting level, but nevertheless, I got to be there. I got to be a part of the show, so, and that's because I didn't just stop the investment at going to get training or getting a new pair of tights. Like I continued the investment. So try not to just stop that or limit what you put in and what you invest in your career. So I think that those are two very key important things is don't stop the investment and then also to really just make wrestling your life and just have it consume you if you really want to. I mean, think about it just in terms of a professional athlete. A professional athlete for the NFL and for the NBA is going to just make it all about like that's going to be his primary focus. You know what I mean? And that's what we
Mhm.
need to present ourselves as is professional athletes. So, and just try to model that mindset, I would say.
That's great advice. That's great. Great. What do you see yourself doing? That was loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, 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 it was. It was. My apologies.
No, you're fine. So what are your goals? Like, I mean, we already know that you've been in all these places, but
Yeah.
what is your main goal? Do you have a
Yeah.
specific place?
No, honestly, not. I get asked this and I don't mean to sound too spiritual thinking or whatever. But honestly, I try not to set a specific goal in mind or whatever just because I think about it like if I say that I want to make it to the WWE and then like who knows like once I get there maybe I could have made it to the WWE Hall of Fame. You know what I
Mm,
mean? But
yep.
then my expectations were just capped at making it to the WWE or making it to be a champion somewhere or whatever. So I just try the mindset I try to take with me when I'm thinking about my goals or um, or whatnot is really just trying to make sure that I live up to my fullest potential. And because that it's kind of like that old saying, don't shoot for don't shoot for a star, shoot for the moon. And then because then you're gonna hit a star, but if you shoot for the star, then you're only gonna maybe hit a cloud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try not to cap it at all. I try to make sure that I just want to live up to my fullest potential in whatever way that may be. Maybe that is a Hall of Fame somewhere. Maybe that's being, main eventing a WrestleMania or whatnot. So, but I'm open for whatever, and I just try to focus on just putting my best foot forward in each and every situation, and just trusting God with the rest. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And we can see it. We can see your work. I mean, we can. I mean,
yeah, no, and I appreciate that. I'm glad that it's visible. So thank you.
it is. It really is. It is. Do you have any questions? Nope.
Come
Nothing.
on, come on. You have to have one question,
Come on.
even if it's like your favorite food, or
Yeah.
do you like avocados or not? Come on, you got to ask one question. Come on, don't leave me hanging.
She's blanking out. Come on.
If I could dye my hair any type of color, what would it be? That's a good question.
Yeah. There. Go ahead, ask
But
me.
you got to ask it. I'm not going to answer it for you.
If you could dye your hair any color, what would it be?
No, you got to say it with a little bit more gravitas and passion. If you could ask any question,
Yeah.
come on. If you could dye your hair any color, there you go. No, I'll give you a straight up answer. My favorite color, and it kind of looks like you actually got some. My favorite color is purple. So if like I wasn't nervous about all the dyes and the toxic chemicals going in my hair, I would definitely dye my hair purple, or yeah, no, it'd be purple. It probably wouldn't last for long. I would want to do like a washout, like where it would last like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, so.
Well, they do make that conditioner, the
Oh
color
yeah.
depositing conditioner.
I would get nervous. That it's gonna mess up my hair or permanently do it. Or I got some opportunities with WWE and NWA coming up here shortly. So
Nice.
I'd be really nervous if it like didn't wash out. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, or if it dyed your skin.
Oh my gosh, yeah. See, yeah. Why take the chance? I think that mine
Right?
isn't too bad. I don't know. I'd rather just get it braided again.
Yeah. So opportunities with WWE, can you talk about that, or is that something you can't?
No, I mean I probably could. It probably doesn't matter, but I also don't want to chance it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. Hopefully, you guys will see it when the opportunity comes around. So, but I am able to discuss that I will be at NWA in Tampa for their Tampa tapings on April 12th and the 13th of of April.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll be traveling down there, and then and man, we got a lot of great stuff coming up with NWA. I'll be back at NWA Chicago on May 3rd, and then I'm also most likely going to be going back to my home state of Dallas, Texas, for the Crockett Cup, May 18th. So
Nice.
yeah. I'm looking
That's nice.
for one. Yeah. So it should be awesome. It's great. If and NWA is just a fantastic place to be. I mean, especially for someone like me that I as much as I have trained and as much as I've learned over the years, I'm just so hungry and so eager to learn more. And I really, really just want to be considered one of the best wrestlers in the world, if not the best. Not just the best around, but one of the best wrestlers in the world. And play a place like NWA where they have people like Dr. Tom Pritchard, and they have a Ricky Morton, and they have an Aaron Stevens, or um, like a Tim Storm or a Rodney Mack. They just have such like just everybody that's there for the most part has been there and done that at the highest level. And that, in my opinion, is the best place to be for me at this point, and to learn. So yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the opportunity. And Mr. Corgan has been very, very helpful and instrumental in helping me get into get seen and get a bigger platform. So I'm just very fortunate to be a part of an organization like that. So
Yeah. I love NWA. We don't miss it.
it's
We
great.
love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got our
No,
little
it's
app
great.
to make sure we can see it.
Well, if they ever have a show over in this vicinity, I'll definitely try my best to get you guys some tickets. All right.
That would be amazing. Amazing.
And who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe you might even be on it, sweetheart. If you keep on
Oh,
training with Bobby, who knows?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
you can't show up with purple hair. You gotta. That's my gimmick. All right.
Yeah, what was it Bobby told you not long ago? That you have to stop looking at just your next match and look beyond.
Yep.
Yep.
No,
That's
that's
pretty
it's
good.
good advice. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, and preparing yourself. Not just, but also trying to make sure that you live in the present mindset, by understanding that your present mindset and things that you do in the present moment is going to prepare you for what's to come after. So, um, yeah, I think that that's very important as well, to just live with that present mindset and do your best to put your best foot forward in each and every situation that you're in currently. So
Yeah. Yeah, listen to him. Yeah.
it's
Now
easier said
listen.
than done. I will say that it's a lot easier said than done. And this is also coming at you with how old are you, sweetie?
20. 20.
20. Okay, yeah, this is coming at you with at 27 years old, but it's been like dog years, so times that by 7. So so I've just been, yeah, I've had a lot of trials and tribulations, and things that have just kind of molded me, and a good piece of just life advice, not just wrestling advice, but it's not about what happens. It's about how you handle what happens. So and just being able to take kind of whatever's given to you and be able to find the positive in it. I think that that's very
Mhm.
important too, not just in wrestling but in life in general. So I will say that. That's another. I didn't. This wasn't meant to be like a motivational podcast, but well, we're turning it into one. All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You're 27 years old. So
Yes,
what you just
ma'am.
said? How long have
Yes,
you been
ma'am.
acting?
Sorry, say it again.
How long have you been wrestling? How long have you been at? Let's see.
I've been wrestling since I was 17, but a lot of it when I was younger, for about from about 17 to 23, I wasn't really. I was like doing it and not doing it, doing it and not doing it. So I would say consistently, I've been doing it the past like 5 or 6 years now. Um, So I did start when I was 17, but kind of like a kid in college, you know how they changed their major like 5 or 6 different times. That was kind of what it was like. Early on, wrestling was like my college years. Just trying to figure out who I am and figure out my footing. So I will say that though it's been a good consistent 5 or 6 years for me. Really trying to pursue this and make it a real career. So because I have a lot of different interests. I love acting, and I love just movies and making movies and TV shows and whatnot. So, and I've had some opportunities with that as well. But nothing to brag about. But that's definitely a big interest of mine. So, I'm multifaceted. So,
So would you say that's what you wanted to do if you weren't wrestling, is acting?
definitely, I was not made to do anything that wasn't in the entertainment realm. And with that being said, I have no ability to sing and no ability to play an instrument. So I, it would either have to come down to wrestling or acting. That's for sure.
Well, I think you picked the right one right now.
Right now, yeah, definitely. Well, my
Yep.
body's still feeling fresh. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But
Yeah, and you're working hard for it.
yeah. No, I've been like I said, it's been a struggle. It's been a process, but once I started enjoying the process and stopped trying to focus on, hey, I have to get here to be successful. That's when things started really happening for me, and I've just developed so many like good traits I wouldn't have if I had this mindset where I was just focused on the future. So yeah.
That's great.
I appreciate
You have anything?
No.
it.
Come
She
on,
already
you're my
asked her
co-host.
one
Say
question.
something.
Yeah, I already
Yeah.
asked.
She already asked her one question. Good
So
stuff.
what would you say your biggest struggle's been? I know you were mentioning, like sleeping in your car and all those things, but what's been
Yeah.
your biggest struggle on your walk?
Um, I would, man, I would probably. It sounds like such a cliche answer, but like my biggest struggle has been like myself just getting in the way, and making some bonehead decisions and really just not, like I said, I hate to keep on going back to this, but it is very true. Just not embracing where I'm at and embracing the process of and what God's trying to do in my life right now in this moment. Because I was always so focused on getting somewhere else. And so I would say that would be like probably the biggest regret, and that I didn't learn that sooner. And biggest struggle as well, that I wish I could have just learned that sooner, but it's okay. I know people that are still trying to figure that out in their 50s and 40s.
Mhm.
So like I said, it's been, I know I'm 27, but it feels like dog years, and I just feel like I've definitely have been very fortunate to have kind of a different perspective on life at a younger age. So I'm very fortunate for that as well.
Life is a process.
1000%. It is,
Mhm.
and just enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it, because nothing says that I'm gonna get to where I want to be. So might as well just enjoy it as where I'm at now. So that's my
Well,
that's
and,
my best way to think about it.
yeah, and you have more of a chance getting to where you want to be or where you're headed if you push for it. If you just sit still, then you never know,
Well,
right?
that's not possible when I'm walking the way I am.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, do you have any like last minute questions, or any like roundup questions that you ask all of your guests or anything like that?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where do people get hold of you, like for if somebody's wanting to book you, if you're taking bookings, wanting to buy merch, if you have any merch.
Yes, so I'm actually still in the process of trying to get a like an actual like online store kind of set up.
Mhm.
And so I am in the process of that. You can always get merch when you see me at a show. But to get in contact with me, you could follow me on Instagram.
Hmm.
I am not good at responding on there, but I am very, very good at responding to people and especially promoters and whatnot on Facebook. So, and you can just find all of my social media at Anthony Catena. People always ask if that's my real name. It is. I don't know anyone that can come up with that last name. So, um, but yeah, Anthony Catena. You can find me at on my social medias and yeah, I'm open to go anywhere, be anywhere, open for any opportunity, and I always like to go new places. And even like when I was out in the UK, they had me do a couple seminars. So no, those were awesome because I got to bring such a different perspective, especially being over here in the US, but and going over there in the UK, but specifically being able to just kind of compile everything that I've learned from like a Devon Dudley and a Dr. Tom and a Now Snow and a Rip Rogers and just kind of mush them all together and really just kind of develop the ultimate criteria of that. And I'm still building on it and still learning from it. So yeah, I'm always open for opportunities like that as well. So yeah, please by all means just DM me and send me a friend request, and we'll get working from there.
Sounds good. Wish you would have known you had merch when we saw you last
Yeah,
week or the
yeah.
week before.
I think it was the week prior, and I
Yep.
did have some merch, but all the tables were taken. Yeah, blame that on the other performers there.
You should have said, scoot over, you can share.
I tried. I needed someone like you to kind of push him aside for me. It's okay though.
Well, if you would have
I'm
told
a,
me, I would have said, all right, move over.
yeah. I'll always give my seat up for a Bobby Blaze. That's okay. But when you got some other jabrones on the card, that they should be giving up their seat for me sometimes, you know.
Well,
Make sure you tell them that too.
make sure we tell them.
Yeah, make sure you tell them
Okay.
that.
I don't know if we know who you're talking about though, but
Oh well,
we know who all was there.
he walks around with a whistle and a big lifeguard. Yeah,
Hi, Ross.
yeah. Hi, Russ. Or tell Sydney if you see her as well,
Yeah, Sydney.
or Reese
Yep.
Ramiro, or what his name
Reese
is.
Ramon.
Yeah,
I'll tell
you
you a
can
funny
mention
story
it.
real quick.
Yeah, please, by all means.
I was ring announcing, and it was the first time I ever ring announced Reese. And I don't know what happened to my brain. I announced her as Reese Witherspoon.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, if there's any like one to be compared to,
Yeah.
that's a good call. So
Yeah.
good
So it
stuff.
was fantastic. Loved it. But
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
but thank you
Well,
so
I'll make sure
much.
if you ever introduce me, make sure you call me Mark Wahlberg. All right.
Mark
We'll go with
Wahlberg.
that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take a
can make
note
that
of
mistake.
that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Perfect. Well, I appreciate you, ladies, and yeah, it
Thank
was great.
you.
And by all means, we can definitely do this again shortly. All right.
Love it. Love it. And this is Cindy and Destiny with
I
Keep It Real
appreciate you.
Podcast here with Anthony Catena. Thank you again.
The best around.